Hey there. Today we're going to learn how to divide smaller numbers that have remainders in their answer. And the idea behind a remainder is that when you are dividing, you won't always be able to make equal groups with every number that you divide. Sometimes there will be some amount left over after you have made all of the equal groups that you can. In a party, and you've baked 23 cookies to distribute at that party. And you invite 5 guests, and you want to know how many cookies will each guest receive if they all receive the same amount of cookies. Well, one way that I could solve that is by drawing 5 plates representing the 5 guests that I'm inviting to my party. And then I could evenly distribute the amount of cookies that I have until I run out of cookies. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cookies. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cookies. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 cookies. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 cookies. Now at this point, I've given out 20 cookies to my guests. I still have 3 cookies left over. But I cannot distribute these 3 cookies to my guests evenly or fairly. If I gave these people an extra cookie, they would have 5 cookies, while these people only had 4 cookies. So I cannot evenly distribute the 3 cookies that are remaining. What we call these 3 cookies is our remainder. Another way that I could represent this mathematically is to use the equation 23 divided by 5. And this 23 divided by 5 is the same as this. It's just written in a different way that is easier when we are dividing larger numbers that will end up having remainders. And I would say that 5 goes into 23 4 times because each person got 4 cookies. I can make 5 groups of 4 evenly. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 cookies would be used if I distributed 4 cookies to everyone. So 4 times 5 gives me 20 cookies. Now, in order to find how many cookies I have left over, I'm going to subtract to find the difference. 3 minus 0 is 3. 2 minus 2 is 0. And I would write that 3 on top next to my answer with a lowercase r, 3. And this number up here is my answer. I would say that 5 divides 23 4 times with a remainder of 3. Take a look at another example. In this example, we're going to divide 17 by 3. And again, that 17 could be cookies, they could be pencils, they could be really anything that I'm trying to make equal groups of 3 out of. And I want to know how many equal groups of 3 I can make from that 17. Well, in order to do that, I'm going to list my multiples of 3 off to the side because that tells me how many groups of 3 I can make. So starting with 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 4 is 12, 3 times 5 is 15, 3 times 6 is 18, 3 times 7 is 21, and I could go on, but I'm going to stop there because I only have 17, so I couldn't make 21. I couldn't make 7 groups of 3 because I would need 21. I only have 17. So now I'm going to look for a number that's just lower than 17. And that's going to tell me how many groups of 3 I can make from 17. Well, I can make 1 group. I have enough to make 2 groups. I can make 3 groups, 4 groups. I can make 5 groups. But that's the final amount. I can't make 6 groups of 3 from 17 because I would need 18 in order to do that. So out of 17 cookies, I could make 5 groups of 3. So I would say 5 is my answer up here. Now, when I made 5 groups of 3, I am going to have some left over because it didn't go in evenly. So I'm going to pull that 15 underneath the 17 to find out how many I have left over. And again, I'm going to subtract. 7 minus 5 is 2. 1 minus 1 is 0. So I would say that 3 divides 17 5 times with a remainder of 2. So my answer is 5, remainder 2. Let's take a look at a couple more examples. The next example, I'm going to divide 28 by 6. Again, I'm going to start by listing my multiples of what I am dividing by. So in this case, I'm going to list my multiples of 6. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. And again, I'm going to go ahead and stop there because I see that I only have 28. I can't make any groups of 6 that are higher than 28. So I'm going to be looking for a number that is just lower than 28. So I can make 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups, but that's where I'd have to stop. I can't make 5 groups of 6 out of only 28. I would need 30 in order to do that. So I say that 6 divides 28 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And I want to know how many I have left over. So 28 take away 24 would leave me with 8 minus 4 is 4, and 2 minus 2 is 0. So I would say that 6 divides 28 4 times with a remainder of 4. Let's do one more example. In this example, we'll divide 30 by 4. Again, I'm going to start by listing my multiples of the number that I'm dividing by, starting with 4 times 1, 4 times 2, 4 times 3, 4 times 4, 4 times 5, 4 times 6, 4 times 7, 4 times 8, 4 times 9. And again, I'm going to go ahead and stop there because I have a number that's greater than 30. In order to find out how many times 4 will go into 30, I'm just going to count however many multiples I have up to 30. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is where I'd have to stop. I can't make 8 groups of 4 because I would need 32 and I only have 30. So I would say that 4 divides 30 7 times. I could make 7 groups of 4 with 30. If I want to know how many is left over, I'm going to subtract 7 times 4. So 28 taken away from 30. 0 minus 8 I can't do, so I'm going to borrow from the 3 and make that a 10. 10 minus 8 is 2, and 2 minus 2 is 0. So I would say that that 2 comes up as my remainder, and I would say that 4 divides 30 7 times with a remainder of 2. That is my answer.